Okay, good evening, everyone. So we're here on day 6, our last self-inquiry evening. So before we dive in, yeah, I'd love to just check in and see if there's any questions. And I have a question. It's a really good one that comes from Kimmy, and I'm going to address that. Oh, I see you have your hand up there as well. Hopefully, it's the same question that you sent earlier. So, yeah. So this question, or maybe I'll just talk to you. Oh, why don't I just unmute you? Just you can ask the question actually. Yeah. Hi, Kimmy. Yeah.
Hi, hello. Hello, everyone. Such a humbling experience. Thank you so very much. So I do have a question, and I also have a bit of a comment and something to share. So perhaps I'll start with that because it leads into the question.
Mhm.
Um, this morning, when I uh, put my laptop on, etc., everything in me was resisting. My body was resisting, my mind was resisting. There was a sense of general fatigue. Being in South Africa, I'm getting about 2.5 hours of sleep a day since Sunday. And there's just this general, as my 11-year-old would say, crankiness that I felt
Mhm.
this morning. Nonetheless, as the meditation started, I closed my eyes, I sat down, started concentrating on the breath, and I experienced the most amazing instantaneous experience of benevolence. It was as if the I am presence or the universe gave me this massive cosmic hug.
Mhm.
And as soon as the mind started, and the mind was brutal this morning with a barrage of thoughts that kept coming through, this I am presence gently took my awareness to the body. And as it explored the sensations in the body, um, instead of these stories that the mind was creating, these stories kind of went to the background. And as we focused on a specific part of the body, the thoughts such as betrayal would come up, or fear, or sadness. So very simple, very quick, very simplistic. And as the awareness sat at that part of the body, the sensation started to dissipate. And as this continued in this very gentle, simple, um, quick manner, the mind again became active, saying, this is impossible. This is just your imagination, because um, to experience the I am presence is not as easy. Everything in life has to be challenging, and you have to work hard to achieve anything. And every time that thought came to the fore, um, there was a tingling in the crown chakra, a tingling in the third eye, and a gentle column of energy that pulsated down the spine, almost like a confirmation in the body
Mhm.
that it is indeed the I am presence, and that it can indeed be relatively simple. And the realization that came up is that we also have these subtle beliefs that are not as in your face. And it is these subtle beliefs that actually bring on suffering, because that belief of having to work hard in life for everything that we need to achieve
Mhm.
has been a significant source of um, immense highs, but also significant suffering as I reflect on the rhetoric of how my life has played out. And it came up in this morning's meditation, and it was amazing. So as the awareness went to the head, because that's where uh, the, the the sensation resonated for this belief, it was almost like a cosmic balloon was popping. It was the most amazing experience. And when I came to from this meditation, I thought I was sitting there for like 3 or 4 hours. It was just a matter of 15 minutes.
Mhm.
So I thought it was a very It was a very humbling experience. It was such a benevolent experience. It was, you can still do this. It doesn't need to be hard work. And
Mhm.
let me hold you as you continue on this journey, which was phenomenal.
Mhm.
And that kind of leads me into the next part of this, which is a question. How does the character engage with this higher intelligence? How does the character engage with this I am presence in order to do self-inquiry? Um, and maybe I'm thinking along the lines of Neil Donald Walsh and A Conversation with God, where the character can pose questions to the higher self to get a more conscious response or a more conscious sense of guidance, which leads then to conscious action in everyday life, which then manifests into experiences of grace and flow and peace and freedom, which is what the vibration of the I am presence is. So a
Mhm.
lot of talking. I do apologize, but
That's okay. Yeah,
it was a
yeah,
build up.
yeah. So I'll start out by saying, yeah, like it is so simple, like it's beyond simple. It's so simple that when we get it, like my experience, at an enlightenment intensive, the first time I had the flip, it wasn't a full kensho, which was what I had later at the Zen Center, but the flip, when it happened, it was so ridiculously simple that like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how simple it was. It's so simple, there's nothing to it. There's nothing to the mind.
Mm,
It's only difficult because the mind has so much momentum of all of its doing that it's just charging ahead trying to do something. And meanwhile, you're right here. Awareness is right here. So there's literally nothing to do. It's beyond simple. And that's why it's so difficult for the mind because the mind is a doing and we're identified with that mind and that doing and achieving. Like you said, it's this cycle of suffering, projecting externally on these external goals while we miss what is right here. Yeah, so it is ridiculously simple. And so so like the second question, so to inquire, like to me, at a certain point, meditation and self-inquiry are one and the same. And it's, so there are forms of meditation where there is no doing. There's nothing to it. It's literally just sitting there. It's just being. And even that sounds like there's something to it, but you already are. So there's nothing to do. You just being is happening already. So just abiding as the beer, or the self. And that's it. There's nothing to do in that. And then, like you said, so you know, the consciousness that's there, is, it's the recognition of that consciousness that's already there. And so, so sometimes people, they want to know, from the little self, what does the little self do? Does it inquire, in the meditation? Is it helpful to, mentally say, who am I? That type of thing.
mm,
But really, all we have to do is recognize the truth of, that little self can't do it. And there's really nothing the little self can do. It just wants to do something. It wants to do, some little mantra and connect to God or whatever,
mm,
but it's it's still running. There's still this little filter running, right? So the only thing for it to do is to recognize its own limitation in this process of recognizing the truth and really just stop, just get out of the way, just and even the stopping, sometimes I say like let go, but even the mind thinks, okay, now I'll do something to let go, but it's even that, we even let go of the letting go, you know? So just literally letting everything be exactly as it is. And then, you know, the mind, because it is a doing, as soon as you are letting everything be as it is, there's no resistance, and then the mind will naturally settle. And the truth is that awareness is ever present, you know, even when the mind is busy, awareness is still there. It's just easier. It's like the pond becomes a mirror when the mind is still, and it's easier to wake up. But we can wake up anytime. So I don't know if that makes sense. Like the process, to me, that process is exactly what we're doing in the dyads. We're just when we intend to recognize I amness or beingness, intending to directly experience, that's just being. There's nothing to it. Like we just, you know, would just be directly, and then and then there will be if we will either hang out, just abiding as awareness, or stuff will come up within the mind to clear, because there's always stuff that's going to come up until the samskaras have all been cleared. So
That actually makes sense because as stuff comes up to clear, it frees up the energy, which then leads to conscious action. So
mhm.
I guess that's where the connection is that I was asking about. So thank
Yes,
you, thank
yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah, so then it's not the little doer, you know, doing stuff unconsciously. Then that
Yeah.
energy, the flow of life, it comes through. Yeah.
And it kind of links to what we call intuition, because then it's the intuition that guides the choices as opposed to the mind.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. That
Yeah.
was very, very enlightening. Thank
Hmm.
you.
Hmm. Thank you. Mhm.
Alyssa.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dan disappeared on the computer.
Pardon? What was that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you. You disappeared from the computer.
Oh, yeah.
You became very little. It was
Okay.
the little Dan.
Okay.
That was it.
I'm gonna pin both of us so we can spotlight here. Here we go.
Okay.
Spotlight you. There we go. Hmm.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Dan, and all the team of ATW for such a fantastic and inspiring work that you are doing.
Thank you.
My question, I think is not much of a question, perhaps it's much of a guidance, perhaps that you can actually give me. And is that I think it has to do with what you were talking before, just answering another question. And is that I got a little bit of issue with these diets and this seven quarry, and perhaps it's because I didn't know it was being a little bit too simplistic. Yeah. But in the sense that in the diets, if we actually are concentrating in our feelings and sensations, so we are actually experiencing when we trying to find out this who am I? And for me, the way that perhaps this is what is becoming a little bit difficult is because for me, I really need to step back from my thoughts, really. And because my feelings or my sensations or my experiences for me really are not important, because this is what my self-structure belongs to. So I really need to stay back from the thoughts and come back to the fact of being, just being, and being aware. And that's all.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, well, this is too simple. And that's what I said, it has a little bit of relation what you were saying about this simplistic. And in fact, I mean, that's the way that I can feel it, and it's the way that this presence or this recognition for me in daily life, it happens. And is that, for instance, is something as simple as that, for instance, in my daily life, how I come across to, okay, I'm being very much aware of who am I, that this has an impact on my reactions in my daily life. For example, I feel happy for no reason whatsoever, or I feel peaceful for no reason. There is no really reason that I can say that. People said, oh, you look very happy, you are very happy, and why are you so happy? And I said, well, I don't know. I just feel happy. Or I don't get upset for things that I used to get upset before. For instance, in relationships, there are no conflict and there is not much conflict anymore, and these type of things. So I think that this is the way that this awareness, that this presence is actually impacting my daily life. And this is actually something that I was sort of being putting together when you mention or have mentioned several times in this retreat, and as well in the previous retreat that I attended in December, January. And is that, if you are really aware of that, if you are not seeking anymore because I stopped seeking when I was about 20 years old, because I think that, I started in this path that perhaps when I was 10 years old, which is something really, it struck me quite badly, and it was the death of my grandmother. That for me was my life. And I couldn't actually sort of understand the how somebody can disappear just like that. I saw her body, but she was not there anymore. So this impermanence of light really hit me. And then I started this part and all this sort of stuff that I'm not going to go into that because I want to concentrate on, please give me some guidance. It's really thing. So I started to search and search and search. As you said, seeking for what I am. Yeah, I'm not just this body. My grandmother was not just that body. Yeah, it was something else. But the only thing that I could see in this dimension was only this body. Anyway, so I started this path, and I realized many years ago I really stopped the searching. So what we are doing here with the diet, with the self-inquiry, is coming back to the scene. Okay, do I have this in already? Or making this simplistic, and perhaps my ego is making me believe, oh, you got it already. So please help me with this because I am a little bit confused with that.
So the ego, is always searching for like all the ego knows is concepts, right? So it wants to know who you are, as a question or as an answer to a question, right? But you actually answered your own question right at the beginning. You said, coming to awareness, you said something about it feels more right to just sort of step back and just be, right? So that's what we're doing. When we do the self-inquiry, when we receive the imperative, tell me who you are. It's like we step back and we're just aware, just being in that moment. And that's it, that's it. That's the direct experience. And then, if we can just be, and there's no interruption, there's no mind stuff, there's no emotions and phenomena, you can just rest as being, and life will flow through. And it's but for most people, what happens is, we intend to just be, and then something comes up in the mind to clear, and or something comes up in the body, or something comes up so we don't get to directly experience. So this process is just a clearing process, but it's not about the mind finding an answer. We're clearing the mind. We're clearing whatever's coming up in the mind so that we can directly experience.
Yeah, but this is what I'm struggling at the moment in the diets, because when I receive the imperative,
Mm-hmm.
what can I say? I had nothing to say,
Mm-hmm.
because before, when I did my first retreat, about the IAM retreat, so I was expressing, I feel this energy, I feel sad, I feel confused, I feel this, but they're my feelings, they're
Mm-hmm.
my emotions, that have nothing to do with what I am.
Mm-hmm.
So at the moment in this retreat, I'm struggling because when I received this imperative, I had nothing to say.
So do you feel like when you're speaking to people, just generally in life, do you feel a sense of ease and a sense of flow and kind of like a childlikeness and a lightness? Yeah, yeah,
Yes, absolutely. And for
yeah.
instance, I mean, some months ago, I went to visit one of my nieces who lives in Boston, and she said to me, uh, you know, you look so different. You act so different. You don't get upset about anything now. I don't know what is happening to you.
Mhm.
And I haven't actually realized that within myself. I obviously that I continue living my human experience. Yeah.
Mhm.
And obviously that somebody really, really annoys me. I thought, yeah, something sometimes get me.
Yeah.
But but on most of the levels, I experience something completely different. I don't like to use the word experience, because experience is this character. That
So
nothing to do.
so in the dyads, whatever that struggle is, there's something in the mind, some belief that the mind has that is making it struggle. Because the dyad can be very free and playful. Like the way that you convey yourself to someone is not, it's not to find an answer, and tell the person. It's to be you, to just be you, to be free in the dyad, to just so the more you're just you, letting life come through, just whatever it is, right? In the moment, it's spontaneous, then that's how you tell people who you are, is just by being you, not finding an answer with the mind.
Yeah, because I had nothing to say. For instance, in one of my last diets,
Hmm.
you know, when I received the the command, I just started to laugh. And I was
Yeah.
laughing and laughing,
Good.
and
Yeah.
I was crying of laugh.
Yeah.
And the witness said to me, okay, let it go. Yeah, and I mean, she was very fantastic with me, because she was laughing, and because I was laughing. I don't know what I was laughing, but I was laughing.
Yeah.
I felt
Yeah.
just like laughing, so I was laughing. But sometimes I think, well, perhaps I cannot be. I don't know. I maybe the witness
Yeah.
is going to say, "Well, what's wrong with you? I'm
Yeah.
asking you this. I'm giving you the command, and the only thing that you do is laughing."
No,
And
so that's actually very very common in the dyads, to like for that the aliveness and joy and laughter to start to come through, sometimes for no reason, and that's connected to who you are. That's that's the energy, that's the aliveness. So first of all, your witness, it should still remain neutral, in that situation, because that's what allows that to unfold. So the witness should never respond. But just
already,
just keep going in that direction. Follow, that laughter, that smile, like when that's coming through, who is that? There's a difference there when that laughter is coming through and that energy is coming through. There's life there, so go in that direction of life. Yeah, and just be free with it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I have understood that in these diets we needed to give answers, which are, to
yeah,
be honest, for me, words cannot really express really what I would
yeah,
like to express.
yeah.
Because
No,
words express what
it's
this character is feeling, my emotion, my which
yeah.
have nothing to
It's only the mind that needs answers, but it's not a question. You know, the imperative is not a question. It's I want to, if I say tell me who you are, I want to see who you are. I want to feel who you are. Not I don't want just an answer. I want to see your laughter. I want to see your aliveness. I want to see it come through you. That's what we're going for here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dan. Thanks.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you have time for one more?
Sure. We'll do one more. Yeah.
Okay. Nasheed.
Hello. Thank you so much for letting me ask my question and for the whole program and retreats in general. I guess my question is kind of fundamental because I'm a beginner. I've been trying to follow the kind of meditation with your guidance then every day. And for example, one day it was really working for me to try to go back to my breath and focus on that. And for example, that day I was in a calm state, and it was easy for me to do that. And I could reach the state of absolute calmness and silence. And also the other thing that helps is that it was for me a walk-in meditation, and I didn't feel the extreme pain in my back that is always a big distraction. And another day that I tried it, when you were talking about these kind of distraction or hindrances that come as a form of worry, for example, fear, restlessness, and you kind of asked us to develop some kind of intimacy with it and kind of be so curious about it and see what is it that is creating blockage. And that itself kind of I wonder where's the balance, where's the boundary between getting involved in that, explore that, and then also at the same time holding on to breath and don't get so much involved in that, because I feel like as I was kind of trying to be curious about it and feeling it, which was actually helpful, because I feel like when I was ignoring it, I felt the blockage in my breath, and I had to like kind of deal with it at that moment, and it was helpful. But also as I was processing it, I was like, okay, am I getting too involved? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So are we talking about fear here? Is that what you were
Yes,
experiencing? Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when the fear was coming up, you're able to feel it in the body and track it in the body.
yes.
Yeah. So were there thoughts associated with the fear?
Yes, I feel like feeling it in my body, it was kind of I feel like I was processing it where it's coming from, and I felt like it's like a deep rooted fear, and I was getting to know it.
Mm-hmm.
But as I was processing it, my mind was getting so much involved that
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'm getting out of the meditation process.
Yeah, so when we're working with fear, it's really beneficial to, like when we were describing the Vipassana body scan, like stay with the sensation of it, and
I see.
feel it through the body, but don't get hooked into the thoughts. If you get hooked into the thoughts, those thoughts will just keep repeating and repeating. So if there's
Mm-hmm.
a story to it, we want to unhook from the story and connect to the body and feel everything. And then, there's a resistance that's being held in the body. So
Mm-hmm.
eventually we can release that. Once we've fully made that conscious in the body, then it can be released. Yeah, so we
I
don't
see.
we don't have to go into those thoughts in the story because that'll just keep it going forever. Yeah.
Yes, I see
Hmm.
your point. Okay, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Thank you. Mhm. All right, so here we go. Are you ready, Tayama?
I am ready. Here goes the launch.
Okay.